Welcome to the Maude Labs podcast, the Maude Debrief.
This is your smart girl's guide to anything branding, marketing, business, and life.
So, for today's topic, we're talking about community. Why it's such an important aspect for every business, for every brand. I think it's because what sustains a business, what sustains a brand, it's the people buying the service or the product. And how do you build a community? How do you create the community and how do you sustain it? We're going to talk about that today. Because at the end of the day, beyond every business, community is what brings meaning and fulfillment to everything that we do.
So, guys,
Yes.
when we do our discovery calls, right, we talk about trust, attention, earning those things
I
through
can see the
community, right? And I can feel myself like getting into the mood, right? I'm standing up a little bit
Share
straighter,
screen.
right? Next
Present.
slide, please.
Yeah.
But something that we stress to people when we're talking about Maude Labs is the importance of building community, right? I think that the term building community, it's such a buzzy word right now. You hear it a lot. I think people want to do that, but it's not something that's done all the time or achieved sustainably. What do you guys think the challenges are?
I think the challenge mainly, especially when it was starting out, is it was an age of influencing and FOMO at the very beginning. So when they were trying to build a community before, it was more of building on that ride of FOMO or
Yeah.
fear of missing out for those of you who don't know what the acronym is. Because at the end of the day, when you want to have a community, you want it to build from a place of authenticity and like genuineness. But at the very beginning, when we were trying to build, when brands were trying to build these things, it was more it needs to look pretty, it needs to
Yes,
be
aesthetic.
aesthetic, needs to be Instagram worthy before.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing the shift that they're focusing more on the real people, the real consumers, the real people who are buying their products. Because at the end of the day, that's where the influencer era began. Like we want to hear from people, actual consumers, actual paying clients that consumes their products to hear their authentic feedback on it.
My perspective is living in a post-pandemic world,
Yeah.
especially here in the Philippines. We were isolated for like what 2 years. Like I know I didn't set foot out. I didn't know what the weather was for like a full year and a half. Like I
Yeah.
came out of there like my skin was alabaster, like gorgeous skin but no color. But I think what happened was we were so isolated. Everybody was on their phones, online. We were so starved of human connection, right?
Yeah.
And we're starting to see that people on the consumer side are starting to look for community because they're looking for that connection, right? So
Yes.
we're seeing a rise in things like run clubs, or people are looking for health and wellness clubs to join, fashion clubs, I don't know, just so many different things. So when people are building communities, can we share a little bit about, for you, V, especially when you're building your community, since you have more experience, I think, in terms of like
Yeah.
life coaching and retreats, where did that passion for community come from for
Okay,
you?
girls, I'm going to take it way back.
Go, girl. Again, more nuggets of lore from B.
All right, so I saw the questions and it said, you built a community at 29. I'm like, actually, no. I started building communities when I was like 18. And
baby V,
I was a
baby
baby.
V.
I was baby V. And this is at the dawn of social media, meaning what was cool then was Multiply.
Yes.
Girl,
and
I had to
Tumblr.
lie about my age to
Right.
open
Yes.
a multiply account.
Add music.
So, so how I got into building communities was that my brother John was a DJ.
Yeah.
And he had his amazing nights at Embassy. He had super class
Oh my
Wednesdays.
gosh.
He had, he took
snuck
over
in.
certain nights. Right? You were underage for sure. And
My mom left. Yeah, she's not in the room.
and I was, as a supportive younger sister, I wanted to help him. And how do you do that? You bring people
Yes.
together. So communities, at the end of the day, it's bringing a group of people together with a shared value.
Yep.
Right? And my brother was really passionate about music. He was very passionate about hip hop music as well.
That's awesome.
And really growing that in the Philippines. Because at his time, when he was growing up, it was a lot of house, a lot of trance, right?
Yeah.
And he wanted to bring different types of music in one set. Like it wasn't just a hip hop night, it was also pop and rock, and you can throw in this old school beat, right? And he really just wanted to diversify music. And at the end of the day, he wanted people to dance and have fun. Because I knew those were his values, you literally just hit up anyone who has a good vibe. So it wasn't about the aesthetic. It wasn't about like the hottest models in the club. Like, yeah, they were there too, but we had ballers, we had people in advertising, we had people in the food industry. It was a collective of people with a shared goal or shared values. So learning what I know from my brother and my family, we brought it to our magazine. At the time, we had Status Magazine. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Guys, just so you know, V is going to brand drop.
I'm gonna brand drop
this because she's worked with such titans of industry. I think
have.
sometimes I forget, we're close friends. We've gotten to know each other very well, but sometimes I forget, girl, you're a big deal.
It was, thank you, I'll receive that. But at the time, with my siblings, John and Rosario, they started a magazine. What was their community about? It was about the creative culture. They named it Status Magazine at the time because also at the time of media, it was all about status and who you are. And they kind of wanted to disassemble that theory of status isn't just, a status in society, but it's also what you achieve, how you've grown. So it redefines what status means. I loved it because they got graffiti artists. They got hip-hop artists, musicians, they got people all around the world, right? Like you didn't have to come from money to have status.
Yeah.
And I think that was super cool. So they tapped into the love for creativity and love for growth for a creative community. That's how they built their community for the magazine. And then they did the same thing for streetwear. We did Grey One Social.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the first streetwear companies
I remember.
in the Philippines, in
Yeah.
Greenbelt and Rockwell at the time. They tapped into people's love for independent brands, right? It was the creatives again. So I
so
had
ahead of their time.
they were
Yeah.
yeah. I'm very proud of them. And as someone who worked for them and learned from them, I understand at the heart of anything, it's going back to what does your community care about?
Yes.
What are their values and what are they passionate about? When I was in my late 20s, I was actually going through, I would say, not the best mental health time of my life. I was living in Hong Kong. I was alone. I didn't have my family. I was dealing with isolation, depression, anxiety. I turned to life coaching to help me heal. I would fly back and forth from Hong Kong to the Philippines for 3 months to do all these workshops and to grow myself. When I was there, I said, it would be really cool if we just kind of brought these concepts to more people. And at the time, I had 2 friends who wanted to do a conference. One friend was Lynn Pinugu, and another friend was Sarah Meyer. And I connected them both, and I said, I think the 2 of you should meet because you have shared goals. So the 3 of us started She Talks Asia because we brought it to women. And then Isa Calzado joined, and then Bianca Gonzalez joined, and then it became the 5 of us that started She Talks Asia together. And I think what's really passionate is that as a woman, we need to talk about the things that matter to us more publicly so that
Yes.
women don't feel alone
Yep.
in terms of their isolation, in terms of their self-love, in terms of their self-worth. So a lot of it goes back to we're not building a community to be the coolest person on the block. We're building a community to serve a need, to serve a pain point that we've also shared and gone
Yep.
through so that other people don't feel alone. So at the end of the day, it's belonging.
100%. Okay, next question, segue. I think this is a question for the room. Is what do you guys think the difference is between an audience and a community?
A community engages with you.
Yes.
A community is someone who shows up for you, of course, whether it be buying your products or attending your events, or even just simply tapping and engaging with your posts on social media. That's a community. An audience is someone who passively watches your content, sometimes would even just scroll down through it. So it doesn't really matter whether they engage or not.
Yeah.
Basically, that's a difference for me. I also want to touch down on like when she said belonging and you said earlier
Yes.
about fitness and everything. How do you feel like you've also built your own community in the fitness
I think
industry?
I'm gonna go back to what V just said. It's shared values. At the end of the day, I think with everything, right? Whether it be friendship, relationships, people that you hang out with, people you work with, the through line in all of those things with everyone is shared value. What are the things that are important to each and every one of you? The 3 of us are so different, right?
Yeah.
But we value the same things. So I think that audience are people who identify with, maybe it's a need or a same pain point that you might have, or they resonate with what you're going through deeply. So I
Yeah.
think that's the difference between community and an audience for me.
Yeah, I think 2 words: brand love.
Yeah.
Right? Community really loves you. They support you. They want to, be a part of your activities,
Yep.
but it's because they deeply love what you stand for. An audience can watch you and be a hater.
Oh,
An
100%.
audience,
Yes.
you can have an audience and they can just like,
I wanted to stay
We
neutral
said to
and
you
say,
before
right.
about our ads.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
because so I think like when it comes to your community, it's someone that not someone, sorry. I think when it comes to your community, it's really about investing in your mission vision and really
Yes.
helping people understand what are you serving for your community, right? Why are they coming there? It's because they have value, because they feel like they belong. And that brand love equates to loyalty. So even if someone else who does something very similar could come along, they won't shift easily
Yep.
because they have loyalty to your brand.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I mean, let's be real nowadays, you guys. When it comes to building brands, most people are doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a dime a dozen, right? So creating that community and cultivating that brand love is really what's going to set you apart, because nowadays, how often can you find a unicorn, right? Not very often.
Yeah. And it's also what's going to sustain you in the long run,
Exactly.
because you can't keep selling different things to different people. At the end of the day, you're going to exhaust it. You can't keep on acquiring new and new and new and new audiences just to try, and then you're not going to build a relationship or a genuine relationship. That's why brands nowadays are investing more in engaging with their audience and like building their community, because it's important. It's what sustains the business,
Yes.
right?
Okay, so how much do we think community building is strategy, and how much do we think is it organic?
I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's a mix
Yeah.
of both. It should be a mix of both.
Yeah, I think that building a community shouldn't happen by accident. I think that's great if it does happen
Yeah.
by accident, but I think you have to be intentional, because you don't just want anyone to join in, right? You want, again, going back to brand love and to resonating, it has to be, I think the people that you attract has to be
Resonate
quality,
with
right?
you.
And we talk about it, right? What energy do we want in the room?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being exclusive. It's more about being intentional with the people who you want to be with and share a space with, share your energy with, especially when it comes to events. Like, and we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
We've attended a lot of events individually and collectively, and we've seen how different energies are when it comes to different types of events, right? So that's why during our events, during our community events, we're trying to be more inclusive. We're trying to provide a safe space. And I loved how, like, one of our guest speakers before said this about our audience: your space feels like a sanctuary for women,
Love that.
right? A safe space, which is like such a powerful thing to say. Super flattering, because you don't hear that a lot in
Yeah.
these events, right?
And I think the reverse of that too is sometimes, and I think this is a conversation we had recently, is sometimes the cancellations are a blessing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like maybe the universe, God, whoever is up there pulling the strings, is removing people from your life and from your audience for a reason, right?
Yeah, we say that about all our events. We're like, may the right souls show up.
Right?
May the right souls show up.
Parang
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Manifest. But at the end of the day, it's it's important. It's not like we're wishing for the right people because wala lang. It's more of like finding the right energy to share with.
Yeah.
Because when you learn with the right people, you uplift your energy. It's like, you know how when you hang out with people, you observe how you feel after. And sometimes when you hang out with a certain type of person or group, like, it's draining.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you hang out with a group that's kind of empowering, you feel so energized and you feel
Yeah,
so
definitely.
ready to face the world. And that's what we want, right?
That's the next question.
So,
I'm not even looking
so
at it.
how has the passion for building community translated to mod?
Well, funny you said earlier it shouldn't happen organically. I think with us, because of our hunger in with connecting to the right people, it came organically.
It did,
that
actually.
that we wanted to have a space for more women and more people to learn more and grow together. Like we started the mod method, for example, to give back to the marketing community how to build a pitch deck, like group blueprint sessions for startup founders, basically. And then now it's growing into a holistic strategy of how we dive deep on each angle
Yeah.
of a founder's journey or a leader's journey, right? It's more about sustaining your ambition, right? It's not just about, okay, how do I build a pitch deck? How do I do this step one, step two, step three? It's not that linear
Just
growth
that, yeah.
anymore. It's more about what goes behind the scenes. Because at the end of the day, as women, we're built to produce so much. And we're built to be highly productive
Mm-hmm.
to the point that we forget to take care of ourselves. Like, how many women and how many people have you known, not just women, that is highly productive, high functioning, and then they forgot to take care of their health?
We've all been there. Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they didn't do an annual checkup, etc. And then one thing led to another.
This is very
Morbid.
specific.
Morbid, but like you
Yeah,
get my point.
totally. And I think that having those right people, I think we're talking about it earlier in another podcast, was sometimes um, your sounding board, your community also helps you amplify your own voice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so next question. For founders who are starting, who are just starting, how do you think they can build a community around their brand? And what is the first thing that they have to be clear on?
I think this is about North Star.
Girl, I'm so tired.
Okay, so
I'm
yeah.
crashing. Hold on.
What was the question again?
I'm like,
Repeat the
just like,
question and then I'll answer.
Breathing. Just keep breathing. If it comes to me, it comes to me.
Okay, okay. So yeah, what is the question again and then I can
No, I
answer.
said for founders who are just starting to think about building their community for their brand, what is the first thing they need to get clear on?
I think it's about what's their end goal or what's their North Star. Everything that they do as a founder, as they're building their brand, as they're building their company, has to be connected with their end goal or with their North Star, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is one thing that you want to end up with? If this one doesn't connect with a point that you want to go to, then what's the point?
For me, I think it's values. We were talking about earlier about businesses, right? Because we have our hands in different things. But we were talking about that, like, you have to think about the values of the company and the
Yeah.
values of the audience. So, like, will you be promoting an alcohol brand to people who are in the fitness community?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because those shared values are not there. So, for me,
Yeah.
I think it's about what those are. And I think companies often overlook, like, clearly lay it out. What are the
Yes.
values that you have? Because a lot of people are be like, whatever, like, they don't
Yeah.
take the time to literally sit down, write it down.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you have to be clear. Again, I keep on saying North Star because when you have a clear mission and vision as a company, the core values also follows.
Yes.
How do you go there? Because when you have a clear like 10-year mission or 10-year goal, then everything leads to that. But you also have to consider your own values
Mhm.
as I'm echoing what you're saying also, that it's not like I'm gonna go there whatever
Yes.
means, diba? Like whatever happens, I'm gonna go there. It's more of like I'm gonna go there, but I'm gonna go through with it on a journey, like
Mhm.
on a on a ladder,
Yeah.
right? Like
One step at a
one step
time,
at a
guys.
time. Like
One
it's
step at a
not like
time.
0 at 200. It can be 0 to 50 and then you're gonna go back to 30, etc. So
Oh, what do you think it actually takes to sustain and nurture a community over the years? Because people can start a community, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think will keep people wanting to come back?
So I think that's where the mix of organic and strategy come in.
Yes.
Because when you're starting a community, you're running on passion.
Yes.
Right? You're running on excitement. But then if you're just alone, there's chances that you could burn out. So this is where we start to incorporate systems and a team and structure for that sustainable, sustainability of your community. For it to go past a decade, you need to have some sort of order,
Yes.
right? So that it's always consistent.
Do you guys think there's a type of leader who's best suited for a community, or do you think anybody can start a community?
Tin Santos
I think
is the best for the structure, and yes.
I think it has to be. It's not like one perfect person. I think finding the right people to support you, because one person can't build a community on her own or his own, right? Like it always takes a village
Yes.
to
Takes a
build something
village.
to
Like
build something great.
Like, for example, for She Talks, Bianca Gonzalez is one of the best people I've ever seen to handle our social media.
Really?
For a decade.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Because she's so good at it and she's consistent. So even though, yes, like me, Lynn, Sarah were one of the early seeds, for it to last for 10 years,
That's awesome.
we give Bianca all the credit just because she's so good at that. So when it goes back to a team, knowing everyone's different strengths is really important, and then activating those strengths.
Exactly.
So, for example, we know this with us. When me and Tin get tired, Monica's our energy girl, right?
And when I run out of energy, goodbye.
we try,
Or,
but we
you
can
know-
never like reach that level of energy, but we try.
It's finding a team, having complementary skill sets, supporting each other's strengths, and really helping each other
Yes.
shine.
Yeah.
Because if it's a marathon and we're throwing the baton to each other, it's the team that we're trusting to keep us going to finish this race.
I mean, I think a community can be as small as our team.
Yeah.
Honestly, and like you said, it's about, I think, understanding within the community to the strengths and weaknesses, right? Like, we know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes having a community is not having clones of each other.
Yes.
I think it's having people who complement each other to get stronger,
Yeah.
right?
I think having just one shared value is enough, to be honest.
One
like,
lang.
No,
One
no,
lang.
I mean, not,
We have
not
more.
even one. We have more, but like it's important that you have like one grounding value that connects you.
Okay, what have we seen the impact of community as we build mod? I think it's everything, guys.
Yeah.
I think it's everything.
Community
It's
is,
like
I
We've seen
think-
everything.
Yeah.
we've also
We've
seen
seen
the
everything,
journey. We've
yeah.
seen the journey of our clients and of like people who attend their event. Sometimes they would attend their event, and then they would be like they would get to know about us, about what
Yeah.
we do, basically, and then they convert into a client,
Yeah.
right?
Or
And-
become a friend.
or
Or they
become a
become a
friend.
friend.
And it's like a personal journey also of relationship that you meet these people in different stages of their journey as a founder, as a leader, or as even a corporate slave,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, for those who don't know, what are some of the things our audiences have in common? Also with us, right? It's the visibility. It's knowing that you have something to offer to the world, but maybe they're just a little shy, or maybe they have a limiting belief that we talked about. Maybe it's also finding the right support structure.
Exactly.
Sorry, let me do that again. Maybe it's about finding the right support structure to help them execute. We bring people together to help you build yourself and your brand.
So, guys, another question is, was there ever a point in mod where we felt like the vision was too big or like it was too much?
All the time.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, all the time.
All the
Literally,
time.
guys.
All we have is big visions.
Yeah. Because sometimes
That's a raven.
we've all seen this like in our social media pages at one point in our life where there's some creator that would say just dream big,
Yeah.
or just like put it in your vision board, the world is limitless, etc., etc.
The Lulu is the Salulu.
The Lulu is but at the end of the day it's hard,
It's so hard.
and it's not as easy as 1 2 3. It's like you have to get from 0.1 to 0.12.
Let's be
like-
real, guys. I feel like every day there is something.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is.
And when you're building a brand, when you're building
Fries in a
business-
corner.
right? When you're building a brand or when you're building a business, it's not just about one thing anymore. You don't wake up one day and suddenly everything is okay. It's like you have to go through and survive the day. Like there are other external factors that we have to solve or we have to adapt to. Like Point Taken or Gilded Escape.
Gilded Escape
right?
was a luxury retreat that we hosted last year in Shangri-La, Boracay, just for context.
Yeah, and then external factors happened. Like
So
there
many
was
guys.
typhoon, we were flying in international jets, everything
Yeah.
that you have to adapt on a daily basis. Like executing an event, it's not just about making sure that the attendees actually go there, etc. It's about and like their experience, etc. It's about making sure they're safe,
Yeah.
their safety and everything. And there are external factors in place that you have no control over.
Like the
And
weather.
the weather. And like no matter how much you plan,
Yeah.
right, ahead, there are certain things that you can't foresee.
Life happens. And I think when people look at the photos of the Gilded Escape, they find it so beautiful.
Like, wow, it looked
And
like
they-
it went perfect.
And they love what we're doing. But again, that's our social media. Shout out to our team. That's our community as well. Sorry. That is our team really working hard to make sure that we're putting out the right content and communicating what we believe in. But the truth is, behind the scenes, when you're executing your vision and you're executing your actual plans to support your community, it's not easy.
Nope.
There's a lot of hiccups that come along the way.
Yeah.
Let me tie it to, so I'll bring it up again, my fitness world. So I have Maude and I work in fitness. I work in a group fitness studio, electric studio. And what I see a lot is people will come, we always joke about it as instructors, is that first 2 months of the year, we call it first timer pass season because everybody's getting a first timer pass, right? Like January, February sales are high. But I think what Electric does really well is cultivate that community. So we have people who come in, and I see it every year, and maybe we'll have a retention rate that's maybe about more than 50%, right? But I think the reason why they keep coming back isn't just because they're seeing results. It's because, hey, the girl that I'm taking the class with tomorrow at 9 a.m., we've become friends. We're gonna grab coffee afterwards. I'm accountable to her.
Yeah.
Nakakahiya if I don't show up. So then it becomes the community that keeps you going, and it's not anymore about just the benefits that you're getting from the thing that you came here for first.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
It's the
at,
people.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like mod, right? Like I think we see this too with our workshops. Is that especially like from the day, right? And when people walk through the doors, they might be a little shy. They might not want to share. They might be a little
Yeah.
bit closed off. But by the end of it, not only have they, we hope, they've learned something or they've gained something from our discussions, but they walk out there a little bit more open, a big smile on their face, and having made a friend or two,
Yeah,
right?
they don't feel alone.
No.
Yeah, now they feel like they share a genuine connection with someone
Exactly.
that they meet, diba? And that's what matters at the end of the day. No matter how big the circumstance or the challenge would be for you, for your company, or your job, it has to be, you have to persevere at the end of the day. And that's some perseverance. It's something that I feel like it's underrated. I know there's a certain generation that actually like was raised on the hustle culture. Like we have to be girl boss. You know, girl
That
boss.
was millennials, dude.
Diba?
That was us.
I'm right here, Tin. I'm right here.
Girl boss too hard now.
I know.
I'm this, diba?
Let's girl rest.
Yeah.
Let's girl rest.
Girl
We're gonna
rest,
girl
girl
rest now.
chill.
Everything else is girl rest.
Yeah. But like at the end of the day, when there's a generation now naman that's focused on mental health, more focused on like work-life balance, etc., that perseverance part kind of like gets forgotten a little bit. Like that's something I want to talk about because I feel like a challenge or a hiccup is not something that you should consider as a block. You should consider it as a challenge.
Yes.
You know, as something that can actually expand you. Like when you were saying about the cup, right? Like how
Oh, I have to bring it here now. So I'm recently doing videos. You know, that's something new.
So
for
proud
me.
of
Yes.
you.
Thank you. And I'm learning a lot from the both of you and both your tips. But one of the things I talked about was also knowing your capacity. So imagine if everyone kind of has their own cup and it's all different sizes, and something that can feel overwhelming for one person will be normal to me. Something that is overwhelming for me might be normal to her. So it's also understanding every single person's capacity. This is whether it's loud music, the amount of work you could do, or even just how your nervous system feels. So a lot of it is just knowing your capacity.
Yeah.
yeah.
Our boundaries, I feel
And
like.
boundaries.
And I think we've gotten a lot better with that.
Yes.
recently, even within the three of us, I
Yeah.
think, right? And I think that with community, there has to be honesty, too,
Yeah.
right?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about honesty, boundaries, and community. How
Okay.
do those three intersect?
For me, I think I'm going to talk from a brand perspective. I think that to earn your community's trust, you have to be transparent, even when it's difficult, right? And I know that sometimes maybe someone who's handling a brand, or maybe as a CEO, maybe as a chief of growth, or for me as a VP, sometimes transparency is hard because you don't want to own up to a brand's mistakes, right?
Yeah.
You want to look like you've got all your shit together.
Yeah, at the end of the day. But I feel like it has to be a balance
Yep.
also. Like, for example, as a leader, it doesn't have to be like 109% transparency. It's more about trying to protect your team also. Like, not like, not naman shoulder everything on your own, but also trying to balance it. Like, what is shareable? What is something that you can share to the people around you, and what's something that you have to keep for yourself because you want to protect their energy and their mindset and their how they go about their life and their day. Because at the end of the day, one simple thing, again, talking about capacity, at the end of the day, something that is okay for you might be very triggering for another person, and you also want to protect their headspace.
Yeah. And when it comes to, for me, I can only think of an example that She Talks did recently, and they handled it so beautifully. They would post different women, right, and great stories of women on their social media. And sometimes with our culture, people like to bash, or people like to
Yeah.
pit women against other women.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
We see it more than we'd
we
like
see
to.
it more, yeah, and it's not really great. And what happened was they posted a certain individual, amazing person, but of course the fans of a competitor came in and started
Oh,
bashing that
gosh.
person,
Oh no.
and it was just not the culture. So what I liked that they did, super biased, right? But I like what She Talks Asia did, was that they really put out a statement that said, hey, this is a safe space and we're supposed to support women. We're not going to tolerate bashing. Your comment will be deleted or you will be blocked if you continue doing this.
Love that.
And that's boundaries because you're protecting the
Yes.
values of everyone in the party.
And it's making a clear
right?
stand.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
it's like you're having a party, and then there's a bouncer there who's stopping like a really violent person from coming in
Yeah.
and messing up with the mood, right? And I feel like we do need boundaries when it comes to communities because
Yes.
again, you don't want one wrong mood, one wrong person. It could really make the rest of the community feel unsafe to be
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
we're always talking about psychological safety. We're always talking about how do people feel after they leave our event,
Yeah.
right? How do people feel when they even interact with us? And really having boundaries is so important because it protects you. And it protects your
100%.
community and it protects your team.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I keep on saying this and repeating this, but it's not about being exclusive or being like cliquish or whatever.
No.
It's about protecting your space. It's about protecting the energy that you want to cultivate. Because at the end of the day, what sustains it? If you let negativity flow into your energy, into your community, then that's not something that's going to sustain you in the long run.
And I think having those shared values and being clear and making a stand like She Talks did is a filter,
Yeah.
right? That's out all the uglies. Just kidding.
Oh no!
This is what I'm talking about. Is an eyebrow going up again?
No,
Okay.
no, it's not. It's not.
Leave that in.
I have my own little personality up here.
Wala.
One unit.
One unit. One unit.
So, guys, what do we have in store for our community at Maude Labs?
It's so exciting for the year ahead, but I guess realistically speaking, it's more intentional events. We're not, again, it's not about quantity, it's about the quality of the event that we're
Yes.
mounting. We want to be more intentional and pace our events more wisely this year.
Yeah.
So, in terms of expectations, we have retreats, we still have workshops. And this is exciting, but we're going to be launching online events also
I'm so
this year
excited.
that more people can.
One more thing, girl. One more
Yeah,
thing.
one more thing.
Digital products.
Yes.
So for those who can't come to all of our events, we also have digital products that we're launching online. And this podcast. This is a way for our community to engage with us when we don't see them at events, and in a way where we can still talk about branding, marketing, business, and life, which is the through line of everything we do. And we bring it here.
So, thanks for tuning in to the Mod Debrief podcast. If you want to learn more about us, you can reach us at modlabs.com or email us at discover@modlabs.com.
See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.